We sing the tale of Mar alone. Yo-ho, me lads, set sail to brave the curses sevenfold beyond the misty veil. Yo-ho-ho, beware what lurks below. Yo-ho-ho, below the shore we go. A mark of black upon our hands. Yo-ho, me lads, take heed. We're bound together, salt to sand. With every drop we bleed. Yo-ho-ho, we'll find what lurks below. Singing yo-ho-ho, below the shore we go.
Hello, and welcome back to episode 6 of Below the Shoreline, a Chance Encounters Dungeons & Dragons mini-campaign. Campaign!
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 Crack open a bottle of campaign.
Love cracking open a cold one with my friends, who are here right now. So let's go around and introduce everyone. We got Ian Frost.
Oh god, yeah.
We got Asteria.
Is me.
We got Sam Rutledge.
Hello.
And John Webb.
Hello.
We're all here.
John Webb.
I am John Webb, allegedly.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. We don't know. We don't truly know if
paper.
you're John Webb, but
Who really knows?
In all forms except physical, you're John Webb.
Who knows if any of this is real?
Indeed. Let's hop into it, gang. Last time on Below the Shoreline, our heroes were preparing for the fight of their lives. Having returned light to the Lost Winds lighthouse, they witnessed the body of a kraken begin to breach through the deadly fog surrounding Marlone Island. A kraken which was exceptionally familiar to Qell, who had narrowly come out on top of an encounter with it before.
Allegedly.
Coming back to the... allegedly.
Allegedly.
Coming back to the town to make plans with Mayor Captain Yasli Nuzu, the party was stopped by a visitor named Durak, who questioned Bene in front of a watching crowd about the happenings on the island and just what was going on. And after having a bit of a tiff, the townsfolk and visitors gathered in the town hall. The visitors were enlightened as to the current state of the curse, and everyone came together in order to fend off the kraken. Yasli and Bene had a heart-to-heart following the meeting. Qell met with his sister Shayna, who begrudgingly accepted the help of the Drylanders in defending Guardios from the kraken. Marius met with preacher Derringer Fellis, who dispensed some lore surrounding the curse and the resurrection of a felled god, at the same time revealing that the island's own preacher, Gerald Bluebond, was maybe a bit less holy than he claimed to be. Finally, upon falling asleep, Calanthe met with Oceanus in a reflection of the dimension they visited in the tide pools. Oceanus threatened her and their group, proclaiming himself to be the god of the original ocean that existed before land, and vowing to take back all the life that had crawled from his waves. Their meeting ended with the emergency bell being sounded, denoting the arrival of the kraken. However, our heroes apparently had nothing to worry about. Going to meet the kraken in combat, they essentially publicly flogged it. Just absolutely eviscerating it and teaching their DM the lesson that when you remove the attributes from a monster that make them difficult, it in fact does make them easy. Big brain thoughts.
When it's not hard, it is easy.
It's easy, indeed. And also I learned...
Do you think maybe the in this world, the kraken was just like, what is going on with me today? Like he was just like, what? I'm usually like on it. Like what is
so
happening?
hard?
Yeah, like why are they like
what? Yeah,
beating me?
Why are they being so mean to me?
This was like the Kraken had a lot of really intense personal self-confidence issues coming up to this. This was going to be its comeback, and then it died.
It spent like so much time outside of the wall of like shadow and smoke and the fog, just being like, okay, you can do this, you got this. Like giving itself like affirmations, and then just immediately go out and we just start beating the shit out of it.
In the words of the legendary Natasha, I made this man a fool.
Yeah, exactly. And also, I was also educated. I was given the fear of monks that I should have had entirely before this, and how they can stunlock you.
Yeah.
But with the combined strength of the cursed protectors of Marlone, the islanders themselves, and the visitors, they sent that Kraken to the bottom of the sea where it belongs, with Qell giving just a beautiful poetic final strike. However, celebrations were cut short as Shayna rushed away, supposedly to where the Ashakmar children were being kept safely. As Guardios let Qell know that a child had been taken. And that is where we are going to pick up. So you guys are, I think, just inside the mouth of the cave where Guardios is being kept. Shayna's just rushed by you. The ships outside of the cave are starting to disperse and kind of make their trek back along the perimeter of the island to the dock. What do you guys want to do?
So something's happening. Definitely.
Things are happening.
So we're still underwater, right? I recall that we were underwater.
I think you're walking on water or underneath water. It's whatever you want it to be, though.
Okay.
Because I think we've ruled that water walk is like a voluntary thing. You use it when you want, and otherwise you can swim.
I kind of figured that because Qell teleported everyone to Guardios.
Yes.
So when he did that, I think he teleported them to like where they are. So I think they are underwater.
You're deep in the cave. Okay, gotcha. Yeah.
He's still like covered in just a layer, like almost can't see skin on his front of
just
the
slowly
blood of
creating
this thing.
A small puddle as it ekes out.
So that's the weird thing.
Nasty.
Is like you teleported straight to this spot and then stuff happened. So he hasn't had a lot of like swimming around. He's just standing there.
Yeah.
But even still, the blood isn't coming off. It's staying on him. And he's still like sort of heaving and starting to come down from it after what happened. He hasn't fully like regained himself yet. And there's this moment where Sheena flies by and he learns what he learns. And he's just sort of standing there like something hit him. Like some sort of force has just like hit him. And he stops heaving and he looks like he's tense, like he's about to bolt after her, but then he just sort of stops and he's frozen, almost catatonic, standing there in the water, like on the like the ground of the in the water time, and on the ground of the in the water time.
Yeah.
And all of the blood that's like staying on him and not like pooling away, it actually starts like gathering and trickling down him instead of floating away. And as this happens, it all starts gathering down and down and down his arms. Like the splatter completely crawls up him and all of it moves together down his arms and then into his hands. And he's sort of watching this happen and his hands are shaking while it happens. And then the blood gathers completely, like swirling in his hands, and it looks like it's trying to like force its way sort of into his, like almost through his fingernails, but it can't. There's nowhere for it to go, and it's just sort of cycling and swirling at his hands. And there's this moment where he stops shaking and he stands there, and something spiritually, almost visually, sort of breaks. There's like a warmth around him, and he summons the swords again. And as the swords appear in the middle of these pools of blood, the blood immediately like crawls very quickly up the blades and then pools and swirls in the center of the hooks. And then in a flash disappears, but not like, kind of not in a flash, but like it absorbs into somewhere, like into that extra dimensional-ish space in the hooks of the blades. The blood is gone.
Mm-hmm.
And the swords shine brighter for a moment. That sort of rainbow diamond texture of it flashes.
Mm-hmm.
And Qell stands up a little bit straighter. The tension kind of goes away. He just holds the swords down, parallel to his legs. Turns back to the group, sort of unsure if they heard. I think he's looking to see if he can tell if they know what happened.
I think that Guardios spoke in your mind, so I'm not sure if they are aware.
We're just watching him like, hey buddy, what are you doing?
Seems like he's just really having a moment, you know?
Y'all are still geeked out. She just bodied a Kraken.
Yeah.
From a meta perspective, this is the emergence of his Life Drinker ability. That will come into play.
Tasty sums.
So something has changed visually. There is like something unlocked.
Did we see Qell's sister like swim by?
Yeah, you saw her rush by real quick. And she kind of, I think she looked at each of you and kind of nodded, but then just went off.
I look at Qell, I'm like, do you know where she's off to?
What?
I'm like, do you know that lady, she just like swam by? It looked like she was in a hurry.
Sheena. My sister, she, yes, they...
Oh, you have a sister?
I think that's news to me as well, actually.
I have been told that the seventh place has been filled.
Where? The seventh, like, sacrifice?
It has my brother.
Yikes.
He's not showing, like, he doesn't look like he's, like, freaking out or anything. He's just sort of standing there, kind of weirdly still and calm. Especially for him. He's usually very expressive, but he's almost weirdly, like, just like, yeah.
Should we follow her? I mean, do we know it? That he's been taken through already? Do we need to go? Who wants to be a bird? She looks at you two.
I don't know if I want to be a bird underwater.
Yeah, that might be a bit of a problem.
He is wherever the others are.
Did we go to the door?
Qell, I think you hear Guardios in your head say, there will be time to process and account for your new powers later. I think it's the more pressing matter is for you to attend to your sister.
Yes, I agree. I do believe we should follow, but I should tell you, do not increase your urgency on my account. Nothing has changed. We are on the only path to freeing those who have been taken. And just because it is now my blood does not mean that our actions and what we can do has changed. We must stay our course and finish the 7 curses as they present themselves.
Then I guess we better not waste any time.
I agree. For now, we must follow. The Ashakmar children who are still here under Guardios' protection must be attended to.
then why are we still wasting time? And I'll go up to the surface and she'll polymorph Bene, I think, if he allows.
You also have Kyleson if you wanna use Kyleson.
Oh, he's all the way out though. He's over.
That's true. Fair enough.
He's probably
Do
on
Bene.
the ship. Polymorph Bene into a giant eagle, if you would like.
You don't know this, but that's been Benny's dream for so long.
Wait, where are the kids? Because
private thing.
we need to go. Okay.
Yeah. So
I didn't know if we need to leave the water to get there.
No, you'll pass if you just guys swim or water walk over there. You'll pass the back beach and then go around to where the tide pools are.
Oh.
You're on the right side of the island, and to get there, you would go to the left side of the island.
Actually,
As soon as Qell finished the sentence, too, like he was already like sort of
Moving.
turning away and speaking over his shoulder, and then like the last word came out, and he was like, "Pachoo!"
okay.
But he's looking back. He's not like bolting away. He's like looking back to make sure, like, are you coming?
I'm going over to get an aerial view to see. Calanthe is not convinced that like what has been done is set in stone yet. So I'm going to fly to get a visual to potentially, in her mind, cut off whoever is taking Fanti. So I think she's a little angry right now. So she will polymorph Bene into a giant eagle and then wild shape herself into a giant eagle and start to like take off.
Okay. And then Marius, what are you doing? Are you going to follow Qell?
Yeah, I'm right behind him.
Sounds good. So you guys,
Am I an eagle or a giant eagle?
A giant eagle. I think
Can
I
I-
can be a giant eagle.
Could I possibly?
what?
It's okay if this is too Looney Tunes here, but could I possibly grab Marius by the shoulders with my talons and just carry him?
100%.
Just take to the skies.
I don't think Marius has much of a choice.
Right.
I feel like Bene
Gets
assumes
picked up
that.
and then he leaves the ground, and as soon as he
Like,
leaves
this
the
is
ground,
fine.
he holds on to those talons.
Yeah.
And he's
so
not letting go.
giant eagles have a fly speed of 80 feet per
wow.
turn. So at double, that's
That's
160.
crazy.
So Calanthe is just making a round around the island as she goes to the tide pools.
He also
Marius'
just has
face
a
is like-
warhammer in his hand. He doesn't know what to do with one hand. He's holding on with the other.
His cheeks are like flapping in the wind as you go at like G-force speed around this island. You're flying around the island, and you, I guess, roll me an investigation check or perception
For the flyers?
The flyers.
for the flyers. Yeah,
Yes.
Marius, you can as
Eagle.
well if you'd like to.
I got a 23.
Jesus,
Lovely.
those elven eyes that are actually human.
Hefty.
27.
27. Damn, Benny.
I got 26.
Jesus Christ.
I
We're
rolled 18.
perceptive.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh wait,
Guys,
but wait, I'm an eagle. I need
Scanning.
eagle's perception.
Oh yeah. Okay. Wisdom is +2.
Okay, that's
But they should have
Less.
some sort of perception like thing, right?
They just
Seems
have-
that- yeah.
They just have
Advantage.
advantage on it.
Okay.
okay. Well, I'll just subtract 2, so I got a 24.
Perfect. Okay. Yeah, you guys are flying all over the island, and you see you're assuming that he's already in the door. You can see Shayna at the back beach,
Mhm.
and she's kneeling in front of the door, and you can see what she's doing, but you're not close enough to get the detail. She's slamming her fist into the door, trying to get it to break open. As you are flying around those, and you see near her the kind of It's dragging marks through the sand where it shows that like a small body that was fighting against being pulled was being dragged through the sand. You see the same footprints that you saw earlier this last morning that were walking to or away from the door. You see those footprints again. They walk to the door and then they walk away again after putting whoever they put in the door. And as you're flying over kind of the swamp area, the footprints do lead again back to the swamp area. And you see that the level of the trees is much, much, much lower than you've ever seen it before. Like, I'm trying to think if you guys have gotten an aerial view. You've only really gotten an aerial view through Bentley, I think, of tracking the island. But now that you guys are up there, maybe less so to Marius because he's not familiar with kind of the overview of the island. But Calanthe and Bene definitely do notice that the trees are much lower there.
Okay.
And that's, I think, the breadth of what you see. Do you have any questions or things that you're looking for?
I will say there was a chance for Qell to come with. Calanthe did give him a second if he wanted to hop on.
Well, how fast were you moving?
Well, I mean, she cast all the spells and stuff in a flurry, but she waited and looked at him, asking if he wanted to come with. But
because he can move like 60 feet in the water.
Oh, we were going 160 feet.
Oh,
yeah, we were zooming. But if he didn't take it, then she just left without him. But
no, he would. If he sees that you were going faster, he'd want to stay together.
And
I think that's all she was looking for was
okay.
Was there still a chance, to prevent it?
Yeah. Whoever threw him in there is still on the island, though. I think that's something that you would definitely take away from that. And not in the door. They are out and about.
They're out and about. She definitely will land, not right next to Sheena, but sort of maybe 20 feet away. And let Qell off.
Benny, do you do the same thing with Marius? Just kind of land and let Marius off.
I drop Marius so he can do like a Marvel land where he like punches
land, yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm kidding. We just
superhero landing.
Yeah.
Well, Marius, roll me a dex check, and if it's bad, we will ignore it. But if you do a really sick dex check, we'll have the 3-point landing.
I'll say that I'm low enough that he can do that, but not so high
himself.
that he would like die.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Here. Oh, ignore it.
Okay, ignore it. It's gone. You guys land safely on the ground. Yeah. Nobody, nothing too heroic. You guys just kill the Kraken. You're just trying to get through the evening. And it's like 1 a.m. Like I'm really forgetting to say, it's still the dead of night. Yeah.
My consciousness into a storm cloud.
Yeah. That's fair. That was already ultra heroic.
So the fight didn't take place during the day. It was a nighttime thing.
No, it was a nighttime thing. You guys are actually technically ahead of schedule. You're probably a day ahead of schedule in terms of the curses.
So she's banging on the door.
She's banging on the door. You see behind her in the water as well is Treg, who is one of the members of the Council of the Coral Keep, historian. You would assume that he was probably the one who's looking after the children over in the tide pools in the Enclave that Kaya Stratmore and Celestina Yelgas prepared. And you see next to Treg, Flip the Dolphin, your brother's little pet dolphin. Kind of
want to do an
making
insight check on the dolphin.
Do an insight check on the dolphin. Roll for me.
As an eagle, I'm weary.
Yeah. Fair enough. Get a vibe check on the dolphin.
That's gonna be 19.
The dolphin is the one who's causing everything that's happening on the island right now. Dolphin.
I try to
bad evil guy.
Yeah, I could caw.
No, the dolphin has sad puppy energy of like my boy is gone, my kid is gone, and I don't know what to do. It seems trustworthy for now, but it's still a child.
For now,
what could happen?
For now.
So Qell gets off. He gets off the eagle, and he's gonna walk slowly and deliberately past the other Ashakmar here, past Treg, and he's walking like back straight, not forced, just like here I am. Like when somebody almost in a weird moment of confidence just looks taller.
Yeah, definitely.
I can't explain to you because it should be unexplainable in a way that he looks different right now somehow. That isn't physical. And he just walks. And I'm gonna point out too, he took no damage during that. There's no.
Yeah, I don't think any of you did.
There are no scratches, no wounds.
I took damage.
None of his own blood. Like he's spotless right now, on top of this energy that's practically steaming off him at this moment. So he just walks deliberately up to stand next to Sheena as she's doing this. The swords have been out the whole time, which is a little weird. He doesn't usually just leave them out. But they're still kind of down at that angle, parallel with his legs. And as he walks up to her, only then will he disappear them. And he'll very gently put a hand on her back. Sister?
She jolts at your touch, but then kind of relaxes. Brother. You feel your sister's shoulders sink lower than you've probably ever felt them sink. This is a particular insult and failure to her, even though she probably could not have done anything about it. She was doing everything she could to protect Gordios.
Steel yourself, my beloved one. This day will yield no more blood. Tomorrow,
if I can help it. Tomorrow.
I am loath to admit that this blight upon this island is structured, and we have lived it. This Oceanus knows not who he has trifled with. But we know perhaps just as little. For now I can tell you, Fantayan is alive and will remain that way until the end of this. We will meet that end and be a stopper in it. But here, you only bleed hands that are needed to wield a blade.
She stands and kind of re-centers herself. Would you say she has a spear or a trident? I feel like trident.
Yeah, I think...
I don't know why I'm saying that wrong. I'm saying trident, as if it's not trident.
Like the gum.
What do you think,
I don't know if this is practical in any way, but I think she has something kind of double-sided. I think she has a special weapon for being the captain. I mentioned before that having pieces of Gordios in your armor or weapons is something only given to specific people in positions of importance, and she's one of those people. So while the weapon part of the weapon, the blades themselves, wouldn't be made of Gordios because that's only for people who do what Qell does. I think that the symbolism here is that it's she has bits of Gordios in the staff part.
Gotcha. Okay.
So she's holding, that.
Yeah.
But I think it's a trident on one side, and on the other side, a stiletto spear. So she can
That's sick.
Yeah.
That's sick as hell. She grips that in her hand a little bit tighter, and she turns and doesn't speak to you, but speaks to Treg in the water and says, "The Drylanders are stronger and far more noble than we've given them credit for. They defeated that Kraken, and we didn't even have to lift a finger. Now what is happening now more than ever certainly affects all of us, but has been affecting all of us even before now. But now that it has our brother, I will be doing whatever I can to assist the Drylanders, and I will be taking those under me to assist them as well, because the only way we get out of this is together." She says that all to Treg, and he nods and says, he looks at you, Qell, and says, "I was placed in charge of the children, and your brother wanted to help. He wanted to do everything he could to help you and your friends, and he ran away, and I chased after him in the water, but he got out and started running on land where I am ill prepared to go. And before my eyes, I saw him get snatched by a cloaked figure and taken to that door and thrown in. I have failed as a leader of the Council of the Coral Keep. I have failed to protect the charges placed under my care. And whatever I can do from the water to assist you, I will as well."
My friend. And Quell's gonna do a very Ashakmar thing, and he's gonna reach up underneath, because the Treg is very old, right? So his jelly tendrils are long as hell.
Way down the
way down. So he comes up under them and around to reach to the back of the neck. So that's kind of an Ashakmar intimacy grip. And he'll do that, and then he'll hold him there and bring his forehead to his. And he'll say to him, "Do not punish yourself for the bravery of another. Yes, I have been preaching the virtues of these people, but not always for the best of reasons. In these times, I see more than ever, so the time for apologies, for wishing for a different past, that is past and unimportant. I see now that eyes forced open do not see. But you see now, and so we may stand together." And then he'll cup his other cheek. He'll together.
I think Treg is honestly kind of maybe tearing up a little bit, which is not something that you've seen him do very often. And he nods and says, I will go collect the rest of the young and take them back to Guardios where they're safe.
May I see them first? May we walk among them?
Yes, of course. Shayna looks at you and says, "Brother, what would you have me do?"
She's still got my bow.
She does, yes.
Is she holding it, or is it strapped?
It's, I think, strapped on her back. I think she's holding her spear in her hand because she's the most comfortable with that.
Okay. I think he'll sort of come up, he'll reach around and he'll sort of take it and he'll lay it in her hand and close her hand around it. "I would have you do what you have always done. Protect us. I will keep the line open. Guardios, the connection has changed. I feel it. I know not if I can explain, but I believe that we can keep you knowing. Rally us, keep the first wave on patrol as much as you can. And our historians, and he looks to Treg, and he goes, I would continue delving backwards. Perhaps if there are creatures... The Kraken cannot be the only creature of the deep. There must be others, creatures of legend and myth in these waters that have been here as long or longer than us. Perhaps we could reach out, find those beasts of legend, speak to them, hear what wisdom they bear from the world before us. Is this possible?
I will give it everything that I have. If a being as strong as a Kraken could force themselves through this mist and fog into wherever we find ourselves now, I'm sure that we could communicate, hopefully, with the combined efforts of a few Ashakmar, with beings either around us and unseen or outside of the veil.
Well, if you are ready, I do believe that the remainder of this fight will not only take place beneath the waves. If you would, I would have you use your strength to train the first wave and any others who are willing to practice their dry legs, their maneuvers here. See that we are strong wherever we walk.
Shayna and Treg both nod, and I think they begin to ready themselves to go off and prepare those things. You wanted to go talk to the children at the tide pools. Is there anything that anyone else wants to do within this scene or while that's happening?
I want to bring everyone, though.
Oh, okay,
that was
yeah,
kind of
yeah,
the thing. He was asking,
For
he
sure.
said, may we walk among them? Was kind of
Yes,
a like,
okay.
Is it cool if these people meet our children? Like, yeah, that's what that was. Just so you know, I don't want to go off alone and do that.
Perfect. Yeah, okay. That sounds good. Does anyone have anything to say in this scene, or Calanthe?
I think Calanthe will drop wild shape,
Okay.
walk up to Sheena, and say, I know what it's like to feel or be responsible for people. You did not fail them. You will never fail them. And I would like to take her bloody hand and cast Cure Wounds on it and heal her hand and drop it.
I think after you cure it, she grabs your hand and kind of like the warriors kind of handshake thing, and doesn't say anything to you, but nods at you, and you can see in her eyes that she deeply appreciates that condolence and also reassurance. Anybody else, or shall we head to the chillins, the little childrens?
I'm staying like a bird.
Nice. Hell yeah.
I'm just waddling over.
Let's roll.
Hop, hop,
Mhm.
hop, hop.
Hop, hop, hop. So you guys head on over to the tide pools, which obviously formerly just looked out onto the ocean, but now because of Kai Stratmore and Celestina Yelgas kind of combining forces, there's this nice wooden blockade, almost like Lincoln logs, kind of blocking the tide pools off from being viewed from the water. And it looks pretty air or watertight as well. It doesn't look like much could get through there, even if it wanted to. And around in the tide pools, honestly, kind of ominously surrounded still by these statues of the sea sun, are these Ashakmar children, who are kind of, freaked out and nervous, but are aware that the imminent danger has passed. So they're all just kind of looking around at one another, waiting to be told what to do or where to go next. They see all you guys coming and they look at you with interest.
Okay. I'll come up first, but I'll actually look to you guys and I'll sort of like hold for a second, and I'll be like, tread carefully. They, most of them have never had the chance to interact with people like us, like you.
Like an eagle? They've never interacted with an eagle?
Well, probably not. I mean, they may have seen one catch a fish here and there, but
Marius is just like grinning, kind of wide-eyed at all the.
would you care for an introduction?
Trying his best to not be intimidating in any way.
I also just like the image of you guys are moderately ragged from battle. It's 2 a.m. There's moonlight shining down on you.
Yeah.
Full moon. And you guys are just here with these children.
Hi.
Sorry, Qell, go on.
Hello.
Would you care for an introduction?
Yeah, of course. Hello.
He'll walk up to. I like the idea that Marius is just going. He looks to them, and he's got a hand kind of up here, and I think you might be starting to notice that's kind of a spot for like Ashok intimacy. So he'll kind of go up there on you, and he'll be like, at first in Ashok probably because most of them probably only speak that, and he'll tell them. The danger is past, young ones. I would like to introduce you to some friends of mine, some heroes who fought off the beast and won.
You guys are heroes? Yeah, I think the you see a little Ashok Mark girl say that, and she is speaking in common. I think she's probably a little bit older.
Cool. And he'll kneel down to her and he'll say, your studies have come along so nicely. Would you be so kind as to translate for our younger friends here?
She nods and is a little bit even starstruck to see Qell, who is kind of this, like, I don't know why my mind went to cool youth pastor energy, but that's what I was feeling. But, like an older brother kind of hero thing. And she nods and goes, yeah, of course.
So, this is Marius. He commands the very storm.
Well, trumps it more like, but,
The children all go, ooh. And you see little boy go like, crrr, like a lightning sound.
Yes, just like that.
And, of course, I believe I have told you stories of the one known as Bene, who is currently a very large bird. But would you believe that this very large bird is a man who wields a blade like no other I have ever seen?
Does Benny break bird form at that point?
Benny is kind of in a Curb Your Enthusiasm moment right now where he feels like either I stay a bird and just let these kids enjoy a giant bird, or do I freak them out by a giant bird turning into a half orc?
I'm looking at Benny to see, like, based on eye contact, if he wants me to drop it or not.
If it helps, they don't even know what a half orc is. Probably.
Exactly. Can I roll for it?
Oh yeah, absolutely. That'd be fun.
Below 10, it drops. Higher than 10, he stays a bird. But I found out
we're gonna do
I can't talk as a bird.
Oh, fair. Okay.
Okay. That's a 9.
Okay. Oh wow.
I think Calanthe and Bene know each other pretty well.
Yeah,
so I
yeah.
think just
Right.
based on, even if it's in bird form, based on eye contact, Bene wants to be a person again. So she's like, snap, and it's
Yeah.
gone.
And now
Roll
I'm
me-
a person.
A charisma check.
Ooh.
Just to see.
Just to
Just to
see.
see. Just to see.
A 13.
That's pretty good. The kids, I'll go, whoa, and some of them look like freaked out because they just, seeing someone, they've been prompted that this person's gonna turn, or this bird's gonna turn to something else, but even seeing it in real life is so much different. But
Hey, guys.
a really little guy who is just kind of learning to walk with his drylander legs, kind of waddles up to you and like pokes you, and then looks up at you and smiles with this really big toothy grin.
Oh, I smile back with him, and I have my one little like sharp tooth showing. My normal teeth.
He reaches up for your sharp tooth.
I like wait. Don't.
He nods and
That's
is
my
like,
mouth.
Like, what are you doing?
Little fish hands out of my
goes-
mouth.
he kind of nods, and then he hugs your leg, and then he gets back in the water.
Oh my god.
Uh,
Benny now
Just some
wants
cute
a
kids.
son. Benny wants a son.
oh,
Committed
man.
something.
Then he
Deep
would be a
inside
of him.
father.
Yeah.
Benny has unlocked womb envy.
Right.
And finally,
Yeah.
And he'll look to Calanthe like for confirmation that this is okay. And he'll turn back to them and be like, and of course, Calanthe, a captain, much like Captain Sheena, but one who sails above the water surface and dives below as a creature of the deep, wielding great magic.
Wow.
Are they like sort of peeking above the water like Fanti at the docks, just like hello?
Exactly. Yeah.
I think Calanthe will use shape water to take a string of it and dance it around their heads like a ribbon.
They're losing their minds. They're giggling. Some of them are trying to chase it. But they all seem to have warmed up to you guys really, really quickly.
Aw.
And he'll kneel down to the girl who's translating.
Uh-huh.
And he'll say now in Ashok specifically. And he'll say, you may even tell the others that she has saved my life.
This little girl's eyes go so wide. And she turns to the rest of the children and says, can you believe that this woman has even saved the life of Guardios' chosen? And they all lose their minds even more, and they're like giggling, and they point at Qell and then point at Calanthe, and just in like a cute like kind of way.
Look at Benny. Panic.
Benny is just like, I don't. What are these children?
What
What
are
a-
they?
What are they?
This is a lot.
What are those? And then the little girl will turn to you, Qell, and actually she'll say in common to all of you, I didn't think that there were heroes anymore.
Well, there's heroes all around you, you know. That's the thing about being a hero, is it's more of a matter of circumstance than anything.
Wow. Okay. Well, could I be a hero?
Very likely. Who knows? You never know. We're gonna need all the help we can get. So
Very likely.
Oh, no,
So,
maybe.
I mean,
I don't know your life. You might be a horrible kid. I don't know. You might be a hero. Maybe.
Oh, I love that. It's so good. But she takes that as an inspirational thing, and you see kind of like sparkles in her eyes as she looks at Marius.
Oh God.
You know, not someone who's like Qell. I mean, Marius is at the age where, and she is like probably like 10 or 11, where it's like crush on babysitter kind of thing. Whereas Qell is like an adult that I know. But yeah,
some dude that I know.
He'll sort
Some
of
dude
laugh
that I
a
know.
little bit at Marius's attempt at reassurance there. And he'll just say to her, like, like he has no problem laughing heartily at that. And
Yeah.
he'll say to her, I think you know that now that the sky is as deep as the sea, and when you grow big and strong, you will be tall enough to thrive in both.
Yeah. Thank you, Qell. And she turns to everyone and she says, "Say thank you to the heroes who came to visit us." And they all smile and say thank you, probably in Ashok.
As they do that, Qell turns around to them as well, and he goes, "Thank you."
Oh, there's too many emotions. So is there anything else you guys want to do with these little kids, or do you want to move on?
Maybe there's sort of like a short Q&A section of like what life is like.
Mhm.
And it's like, and then it gets to a point where it's like, okay, we have to go now, because the kids, they just want to keep asking more and more questions.
Yeah. I love that. So do you guys head back to I mean, it's probably 3 a.m. at this point.
Yeah.
You guys have
Sleepy
fought a
time.
Kraken. Is it sleepy time for everyone?
Yeah.
Okay.
I know we
So-
just took a sleep like 3 hours ago, but sleepy.
But sleepy, yeah.
But sleepy.
But
Oh yeah, that's true.
But
And I
sleepy,
only
but
need a cool
tired.
4 hours. Quell's gonna be up for a while.
you did a fight. You don't have Qell doesn't have to sleep. It's not entirely necessary. But the rest of you guys, I imagine, go back and start to bed down for the rest of this night. Marius, you are having a dream about Sammy Scene-Wise.
no.
It's not entirely dissimilar from the dream you had a few nights ago. Two of you are alone in the stowaway in her cell. It's dark except for just this trickle of moonlight and the flicker of an oil lamp. And she's just stroking your hair and singing in a low voice. And off through the window, you can hear the wash of the waves from the lucent ocean onto the shore, and it's really peaceful. It feels like an honest and simple bit of rest that you haven't felt since you've arrived on this island. As strange as the scene is contextually. But the sound of the waves is soothing you, and it seems as if it's getting louder and louder, not more raucous, but just the general ambient noise of the waves is raising from this constant static to this like white noise, and then there's a bright light that flicks on overhead, and you hear a voice you haven't heard in a little over a week now say, "My boy, why are you in jail?"
Oh,
And
hello.
you
Pappy,
open your eyes, and you see your Pappy Rhubarb, this turtle guy in a cleric's cloaks, just kind of standing outside of the bars of the cell, staring at you.
Marius kind of stumbles up very quickly, kind of brushes himself off, makes himself a little presentable. I don't totally remember. That probably makes it sound much worse, doesn't it?
No, I just wasn't. Listen, my boy. You've only left a few days ago, but I woke up this morning and I saw that this fog had descended on the island that you went to visit, and I sent word up the coast to hear of anything, and apparently they couldn't get any ships into the fog itself.
Right.
And I just knew that something was wrong, and I wanted to speak to you.
I guess we made it out of it. Something.
You look around the cell, and Sammy's actually gone now. You are now alone in the cell. But Rhubarb will kind of open the door for you and will let you out and kind of open the door out of the stowaway into the...
Am I allowed to leave?
I believe this is a dream, my boy. I'm so I think you can probably do whatever you want. As long as you find your way back here before the end of it.
Wow. Okay, I understand. I get it. This is interesting. All right.
Shall we take a little walk?
Sure. He kind of just follows him. He's still kind of dazed.
Oh yeah, and it's dream logic too. So you're like, where am I? What's happening? But you know that it's your pappy in front of you, and as you exit the town, or as you exit the stowaway into the tourism district, you see that it's kind of in this weird. There's a bright moon overhead, and there's no one around, and it's this weird kind of full silence. Like you see the tourism district as it was set up. Basically the night before the festival started. So all these stalls are immaculately put together. There's no crowding of the boats onto the tourism district as had to happen with the Kraken. It's just you and your pappy kind of walking through this really nice, almost festival atmosphere. And your pappy turns to you and says, I asked Lucien to help me reach out to you. I just had a feeling that something was happening, and I was worried that the fog would not allow me to reach you, but I love you too much to not at least try.
I appreciate it. Yeah, now that I'm starting to remember.
What is happening, my boy? Where are you? Why are you obscured and hidden from the world as you are?
It's the island itself. It's been engulfed by this curse. We're doing our best to fight it, but I don't know. It seems kind of bad, like cataclysmic sort of deal.
Is it you are fighting along with others?
Oh yeah, yes. I've made some friends here on the island, and they've been a great help, actually.
He smiles really big at hearing that you've made friends, and there's just a light sea breeze blowing over you guys. There's oil lanterns kind of hung, and light kind of will go over his face, then go away as you guys walk between them. He says, I know that you always wanted to be the chronicler of histories, the one that takes reports and accounts and writes them down, but I've always had a feeling about you, my boy, that you are one of the ones who's meant to write the histories and point the compass true north as to where our world needs to go.
It's awful lot of pressure at the very least. I mean, I don't know.
It is.
I guess whether or not I like it, I guess that's what's happening. I'm living it.
You are strong, Marius. Lucien gave you the powers that you have for just such a purpose as this. And I'm always so proud of you. There's never been a choice that you've made that has not made me happy and so proud to have been able to have been chosen to be the one to raise you. And I think that you are at the start of something magnificent. As dark as the clouds may be, as dark as the fog is around you, those that you have found and allied yourself with, I'm sure feel the exact same about you, that you can rely on them and they can rely on you.
I sure hope so. I mean, I'm trying my best. That's I guess that's what really matters at the end of the day.
Continue to fight for those that you don't know, and they will become precious to you. Even those who you may have shared an enmity with in the past. Protecting people shows you their weakness and their humanity, as it were. I've seen your humanity your whole life, and I know the depth of character that exists within you. And with the guidance of Lucian, I have no fear that you will break through that fog.
You have no idea how much your encouraging words mean right now.
What can I do to help you, if anything at all, from such a great distance?
That's the thing. I'm frankly amazed that we're able to communicate at all. It seems like we're trapped in some sort of pocket world. It's very strange.
How long has it been since you've been trapped out there? For you?
How long has it been?
It's been, from your perception, it's been about, I think 5 or 6 days, 5 days, I think.
Right.
That you guys have been locked in. But
A little less than a week, I guess. I mean,
indeed, it's Saturday morning out in the rest of the world.
Right.
It's only been a night since the start of the festival started on Friday, and so it's only the following morning out in the rest of the world. If there's anything else I can offer, I will try to reach through the veil again. I'm unsure of how the time will intersect and interact, but Marius, you have nothing to fear. You have everything you need in your heart and in your hands.
Thank you. I definitely wouldn't have been able to make it much of anywhere if it wasn't for you. I mean, I owe it all to you, and for that, I'm very grateful.
I've only given you what a father should give. If there was more I could offer, I would. But for now, I think we should get you back to your cell. As strange. You're not actually in prison, are you?
No,
Okay.
I'm
you
definitely
would tell
not.
me if you were, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know what reason I would be in jail. I feel like it would be a mistake for them to put me in a prison cell right now. I mean, they kind of need my help.
Yes, I'm sure they do. And I think he's kind of grabbed your hand at some point, and as you've walked around the tourism district and are kind of finding your way back to the stowaway, he grabs your hand and he sees the black spot that's over your it's your either your dominant. I think it's your dominant hand.
Right.
He just kind of puts his hand over it and covers it and just looks in your eyes and guides you back into the cell. Is there any last thing you want to say to him before this this dream kind of fades into something else?
Let me think.
No worries, take your time.
As I kind of cross through the threshold of the gate, I turn around and do you know anything about being of the name Oceanus?
Oceanus. I don't. Let me actually roll for this. Let's see if he does. Sounds as if it's a god of the sea, but what sea? I am afraid I'm unsure. Is this someone that you've interacted with or come across?
Here or there. Claims to be a god of all sea. I don't really know how that works, but
well, just know that you not only have the power of the lucency behind you, but the power of light and weather as well. You are not bound solely to the sea, as much as some of your powers come from it. So, know the tools that you have, trust in your friends, and I'm sure if this god is trying to oppose you in some way, you and your companions will be able to oppose it right back.
all right.
You can do this, my boy. You can do this.
Thank you.
Now I will let you return to your dream, whatever that may be. And it closes the gate, and as the gate. Well, wait, what was that? What do you want to say?
No, he's just taken aback.
Yeah. As the gate closes, the bars kind of like pass over him, and once it fully hits the rest of the door, he's gone. But yeah, and then I think you enjoy the rest of your night's sleep. Does anybody else have any dreams they want to have, or things they want to process within dreams?
Bene is dreaming he's a bird again. And
yeah.
he's soaring through the skies and flying through the island. Everyone is like, it's kind of like the beginning of Beauty and the Beast, where like Belle is just like walking through the city and everyone's just like, hey, Belle. Like, it's like that, but Benny's a bird and he's flying around.
Oh yeah. Overlooking your kingdom, as it were.
Yeah.
For the rest of the night, Marius dreams that he's being carried by Bene as a bird.
Oh, I love that.
It's like a tandem dream.
It's definitely a while before Qell goes to sleep, especially because he has a smaller window he needs to fill with that.
Yeah, absolutely.
But he's going to spend some time in the pool, probably, if we're all still in that house, right?
Yeah, so you're all at Benny's house. Yeah.
He'll go to the pool for a while.
LMAO, I'm also there.
Oh, hell yeah, okay.
Sleeping. Again.
Oh, if you're asleep, because it's the first place he goes.
Oh, okay. I mean, I can not be there.
No, it's fine. He'll go there and he'll start to get it and he'll realize you're there and be like, oh, I'm sorry, did you want I can just go to the actual ocean.
Get in.
It's fine. he'll just kind of like slowly lower himself in on the opposite side, like as far away from you as he can, and just sort of and he's looking around, and like his intention was to like meditate and ruminate on the new power that he's manifested that he doesn't understand yet. He was just gonna like float by himself and like introspect and try and connect with whatever that new power is. But now there's someone here, he's like,
No.
like out of politeness, he was like, oh yeah, sure. And he's like, after like a minute goes by, he's like, great. Well, I have a good rest. I will.
The second he got in, Calanthe just sort of like gave him the cold shoulder and turned over. And there's like when he says that, she just like sighs and gets up. And before she fully exits the pool, we'll say, you know, I didn't peg you for someone who would just lay down, but I especially didn't peg you for someone who would just roll over when their own fucking brother was in trouble.
He just sighs a little bit, not in like anger or disappointment, just to do it, just to get something out. He smiles very faintly. He'll go, you must think me so heartless. I cannot expect you to understand what is happening to me now. Guardios is not capable of lies. Certainly not to me. And what Guardios said is that he had been taken, not that he was being taken. Now, if you would like to see me scream and place my agony on display for all of you, as I have done in the past, if this would make you feel better, I would gladly do so. My soul is a piece of this group now. I feel no shame in bearing it to you. But I must be honest in that this is not what I feel now. We are on our path, the only path, and the fact that it is my blood does not change what we must do and what I must be, not only to my people, but to ours as well. My loss of composure serves them nothing, serves you nothing. And frankly, I do not feel it. I have a resolve now, a clarity that I have never felt before. And I know that I am where I am meant to be. And somewhere deep inside, beneath my heart, beneath me, deep in the shock, connecting me to Guardios, and through Guardios to everything. Everything. I feel that we will prevail. And I will hold my brother again. He'll get out of the pool. Nod to you. Sort of wait a beat to know if it's appropriate for him to leave or if you're going to say something.
She just, you can tell that she's thinking about what she wants to say. There's something under the surface that she holds back and just watches you leave.
Okay. As he is walking away, he will stop And instead of doing the like cool guy, like turn back over his shoulder, he'll fully turn back around this time. And he'll say, whether you are angry at me or not, what you did for me and my people today will never be forgotten. That girl, she looked up to you with but a look. The next generation, they know. They see it faster than I did when I met you. And I meant what I told her. You did save my life. And then he'll turn and go down toward the coast. And he is going to go hang out in the ocean by himself.
Damn.
A single tear, we follow a single tear drop down her face and onto the surface of the pool.
Calanthe, I think that before you go to sleep, we watch that tear drop hit the water and start to ripple. And almost from those ripples, you feel like you start hearing static in your head, like something's trying to tune into your brainwaves. And you hear a voice kind of going, and it's not the voice of Oceanus.
Mm-hmm.
But as it comes in clearer and clearer, it goes, can you hear me? Can you?
I think she'll take off the eye patch.
Uh-huh.
I think actually it sort of, she starts to feel it like on the tips of her horns, and it starts to travel down.
Yeah. ASMR.
The dingle. And she looks around, knows no one is there. Yes.
This is Guardios. I'm not sure how to say this, but I felt a kinship to you because you are, of course, a coral tiefling, and also because of the relationship that you have with my chosen. Whatever that may be, it is significant. You have saved him. And so I felt so I thought that because the Drylander and the Ashok-Mar world are going to be intersecting, and that we are going to, now more than ever, be helping one another to finish this curse and free us all back into the real world. I wanted to offer you some strength, if I may. Nothing exceptional, just a spell or two. I've never tried to connect with someone who's not of the Ashok-Mar before, so I'm unsure of how this will manifest, but whatever I can offer you, I would like to.
I think when she heard that it was Guardios, she sort of and took a step down into the lower level of the lowest level of the pool. And it would be my honor.
I appreciate that. And you feel it's almost off of that drop of water, the tear that came from your face and dropped into the water. You almost feel like there's more vibrations in the waters if all the molecules are vibrating, and you feel this power begin to imbue itself in you. And I think that in the same way that they did for Qell, Guardios won't even necessarily ask you if you want this, but will just kind of start singing you to sleep. And almost as if time is cycled back, you're kind of taken aback because you start hearing the sound of the bell from the clock tower again, and it's being rung very, very, very loudly. And I think you open your eyes and you see that it is now day, and all of you are actually hearing the bell from the bell tower being hung very, very rung very, very loudly.
So this is really happening.
This is really happening. Yeah.
This is the next day.
This is real life?
This is real. Yeah. This is next day.
Okay.
The sun is shining brightly. Unless there's anything you wanted to complete before then.
I just wanted to ask you if I was able to get an insight into what the power was, the new power, the level up that I got that has Life Drinker. Just the meta understanding that like he laid down in the water, he tried to reach out, he tried to connect and introspect with that power that he feels now, that he saw when he saw the Kraken blood go into the swords. So he's going to try to connect with Guardios, connect to the sea. And by the end of his time, he's going to come out understanding that he can now literally, with a strike, drain life force, which he considers to be the shock, store it in his swords, which are part of Guardios, transfer Guardios to be redistributed into the sea. Yes, and that he has +5 necrotic damage with Life Drinker now to his sword. Yeah.
Wow.
Love that.
I'm gonna say that she's gonna push it to the limit of a long rest, and for the rest of the time, until she goes to sleep, she's gonna try to send out Eldritch Blast, and I don't think she can quite get it. And then she has to go. Like, she understands that she has it, but she's never really done it before. This is a different type of power than what she usually harnesses. So she's trying to, and then she gets too tired and has to go to sleep.
The realization that she kind of has to prepare it like any other spell that she uses. Is that correct?
Well, it's a cantrip, but it's more of like, I use my charisma for it because it's a charisma-based spell. And one, my charisma is not that great, and two, she's a wisdom-based caster, so it's very unfamiliar. She understands the power that is being given to her. She just doesn't know how to use it in practicality.
It will be a wisdom spell for you, though, right?
No.
When you use it, you don't get to use your spell attack modifier for it.
No, I don't think so. Not for Spell Sniper, the feat Spell Sniper. I don't think so.
Wild.
Yeah.
Very wild. Perfect. Yeah, that makes sense to me. So I think almost like a little bit sooner than you'd like, you start hearing the spell being rung. Marius, Bene, what do you guys do?
The bell.
You're in the house, I imagine, as well. You're in your house. I think all of you are there except for Qell.
I would have come back. I mean, when it hit the window, that I figured like it's the last 4 hours of everyone else's rest. He'll go do his, and he'll go back to the house.
Perfect. Okay. Yeah. So you all are assembled at the house.
Yeah, Bene just wakes up, and it's just I feel like Bene's just like, yesterday was crazy. Fought a kraken, turned into a bird. It was a pretty good day. And he's excited to see what today will bring.
Yeah, absolutely. And you hear this it's not stopping. The bell is just going and going and going.
Yikes.
Do you guys all want to assemble and kind of go scope?
Yes.
Okay. So you guys are all together and you find your way into the tourism district once again. And I don't think I actually described the kind of clock bell tower thing, but it is its own structure. It's not attached to the town hall. It's just this kind of, it's not even that tall really. It just goes a little ways above the normal roofs, but the stone tower that goes up and kind of has a clock at the top with a bell attached. And everyone is kind of standing around the bell looking up because no one's really sure, or looking up at the tower because no one's really sure who's up there ringing the bell. And once you guys arrive, it stops and you hear, "Fucking finally!" And down from the bell tower swings one of the lost men. He grabs on a rope and swings down,
Homie.
and lands right in front of you. This is their leader, whose name is Quincy Quagmire. Just this, it's a very unsettling whole shtick that the Lost Men have, because they look like they're children, but you see in their eyes that they're old men that have been turned into children. And he's looking up at you. He's probably like 4'11", and it's like, okay, so Leah was telling me that you guys are in charge of all the fucked up shit that's going on here. Is that right?
That's an exaggeration, I'd say.
Not the big one.
What's wrong, Quag?
We've been just getting entirely fucked for like several days in the swamp at our fort. Not only are the trees all being kind of like digested into the water and sinking very rapidly, but every night we get attacked by these things, and we're running out of food, and we're all really hungry, and we couldn't get here before now. But I just decided, like, fuck it, I gotta build a little ship out of some of the wood that we have and try to make it here so that we can figure this out, because we're gonna die otherwise. And I think I need your help. Please?
I think you do. Yes.
Cool.
Lead the way.
I guess.
Okay, so do you guys need, like, do you need some time to figure your shit out? Like, they're
No,
not gonna come
we're-
again till 9.
Oh, well, we should
Oh.
scope the situation out first, right?
Mhm.
I mean, and you, of course, tell us what are these beasts? What are they? What are these things you say?
Well, it's like, sometimes it's like these frog guys, and they come out, and they try to attack our towers and stuff. Sometimes it's like these green witchy kind of gals, and they have these really gross green faces, and they also...
Would you
try
say
to
that
attack us.
they're haggard looking?
They're... I like this guy. Who is this guy? Yes, they're extremely haggard looking, and then sometimes it's just these giant, like, mounds, and I would say that the way they move is kind of shambling.
They're shambling
Yes.
about.
Mhm.
Yeah, they're just shambling about.
Did you say they were frogs?
Yeah, like frog guys, and they got, like, sometimes they have spears and stuff. And
Frogs
they,
are very kind by nature. Did you do something to offend them?
No, I thought so too. I love frogs. These guys are bastards. Like, true and simple, straightforward. They're bad frogs. And I don't say that lightly.
I've met some bad frogs in my day.
Do I know
Wait.
about frog people? Is that a sea
Wait.
creature I'm aware of?
Freeple.
In the meta, they are.
I'll roll for it if you
Where are
want.
my notes? Yeah, go for it.
Also, I completely forgot to.
You know what?
set
I'm gonna
my spells.
use the frog die that has a frog in it
Ooh.
Oh my
Yeah.
goodness.
to learn about frog.
Wow.
I have to do
If
that.
that doesn't
I
work,
can't because I like.
Yeah, we're
Oh,
fucked.
if that doesn't work, you gotta throw it away.
I
Oh,
will
that's a
not. It
cute
was
frog.
gifted to me by a really good student.
Oh, that's cute.
Okay,
That
it
is
is a
great.
13. What kind of thing is this?
You got a 13? This is a bullywug.
Well, no, I mean, what kind of
Probably
roll
won't,
is it?
yeah.
Because I rolled 13 on the die. I don't know what to add.
Nature.
Nature.
Oh, nature, yeah, or animal handling. But I would say 13 is even enough for you to know that it's a
Okay, that's the
bullywug.
14. Yeah. So.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, like they it's weird though, because I'm used to frogs being naked, but these guys have like clothes on. But they definitely like are bad because their eyes are glowing like this weird black sludgy stuff. And yeah, it's we would really appreciate some help. We feel pretty left out in the dumps because no one noticed that we were suffering, and I think it's time to kind of help us the fuck out.
Well, thank you for bringing it to our attention. You know, I don't know if you saw there was a giant kraken. So, you know, just saying.
I
Priorities.
haven't because every night we've been trying to save our lives, as I'm sure you guys are as well, but this is just bad news. Like,
We're taking
Please,
it
we
one
really-
problem at a time, and I think you have brought this to our attention at the perfect moment, because we finally have just a little bit of free time that we can lend you. So, I mean,
Also,
don't worry about it anymore. The problem's basically already taken care of. We're on the case. We never get it wrong.
Also,
We never get it
maybe let's cool it on the town bell. You know, maybe I get it. It's important for sure. Maybe just like come find us and
It was effective though.
You could just knock on the door, really.
Yeah, man.
Because that would wake all of us up.
I wanted to use the emotional and social leverage of confronting you publicly to ensure that you would really come to help us, you know?
Makes sense.
What's
Yeah,
that?
is it?
Right.
But Quincy's like,
Well, I'm gonna just kind of hang out. I'm gonna get some food to bring back with us because we're all starving. And whenever you guys are ready, we can just go. They're not gonna come back till nightfall, so I guess we have time. But it's better to do it sooner rather than later.
So what you're saying is you could have used this bell later, is what you're saying.
No, I need your help now. We're please, Benny. You know me. We've drank together before.
I'm just trying to understand the logic here. I mean, Quincy, you're a great guy. Love you, honestly. They're coming later, so you woke us up now. Like, mind you, after fighting a Kraken,
It's Benny. It's
I'm
noon.
just thinking out loud here.
Think of it this way, Benny. Now you have something to put off.
Fair point.
You right.
Okay. You guys get ready. I'm gonna go kind of get some supplies and stuff. Yeah. Okay, great. Peace.
and he goes off to kind of go get some food. And at that point, the crowd starts to disperse. Does Qell want to say anything? Or is Qell just taken aback?
As this guy walks away, Qell just kind of puts his hands on his hips in the most disappointed old man gesture that he's ever done, and he just sort of shakes his head and he goes, frog people. First it was fish people, now it's frog people. It seems like sea creatures are innocent and pure, and as soon as you make them people, they become instantly
It's true. The logic tracks. Out of the crowd starts to disperse. Out of the crowd, though, you do see Duroc, who is the dragonborn fellow who kind of confronted Bene yesterday, come up to you guys and say, "Hey, I was supposed to get these to you yesterday, and we just weren't quite able to assemble everything right on time." But he hands over to Bene 3 Molotov cocktails, and is like, you all requested these, so here they are.
Molotova coming through.
It didn't seem like you needed them at the end with the Kraken, but hopefully they can help you with whatever else you guys
These will definitely come in handy at some point. We'll find use for them. Thank you very much.
Yes.
Cheers. I hope you use them in good health. And he kind of, if said, "There's anything else I can do to assist, let me know."
Hopefully not good health for whoever we're throwing them at. Because we would want to catch them on fire.
So when you said good health, Qell raises it. As soon as he hears good health, he's like, and he goes to drink it, and then you say throw it, and he's like, throw it, yeah. Definitely.
That's good. Duroc is like, yes. He's not a very humorous dude. He is a little bit of a stick in the mud.
Business only.
Business only.
Bene says, "Love the proactiveness."
Yes, I've learned that is the way we get out of this situation, is by being proactive. So here I am.
Bene scribbles on a piece of paper that just says 1 free drink, and I'm like, take this down to the bar, and they will give you a free drink. You've earned this.
Okay. I thank you. I do appreciate that. I will go and do that.
Of course.
Got all the coupons.
Oh,
Got, like a stack of them. He's like
Ben,
copy printed them all.
No, Benny, like once he leaves, Benny just brings up, is like, I mean, I don't know if they'll take it. I mean, I just need to give him positive reinforcement, you know.
If he goes in there confident, they're more likely to accept it.
I mean, they know me, so maybe they'll. I don't know.
Roll me a charisma check to see if they know your handwriting.
Okay.
Just for fun.
That is a 15.
Yeah, they know your handwriting.
Okay.
They may begrudgingly give him the drink, but they'll give him a drink.
He has to like be like, no. He gave this to me, and they're like, okay.
Oh, Bene Anjaro. Oh, yeah. That whole thing. And finally, Bene, I have one thing for you. Do any of the rest of the three of you have anything you want to do while you have this layover time?
I would like to talk to Qell again. I know there's a lot of talking to Qell, but I would like to resolve the tension.
Yes, Can I do Benny's thing first? Yes. So you guys are kind of off, going to prepare for different things. Bene, Derringer Fellis, the preacher, comes up to you and is like, Bene, my guy, my friend.
Hey, what's out there?
Hey, so I've been going around to the different shops and kind of attaining supplies, as we've talked about, for your party. It's the craziest thing. I'll go there and I'll be like, hey, we're trying to throw this party. Is there anything that you can, as a kind of we're going to get out of this situation, morale booster. And everyone's kind of like hesitant to give me anything until I say like, Bene Anjaro sent me. And then everyone just like falls in line.
Write him a coupon.
Write it. Do you write him a coupon?
Give him party supplies.
He takes this and he goes, well, that'll come in handy if I need anything else.
Oh yeah, but they'll take it.
I'm
winks at Marius.
I'm storing a lot of the different party supplies actually in the chapel. So just so you know a bit there. Were you thinking, well, when were you thinking of having the party? Do you want to have this like before you guys go do your big bad fight with the final guy, or afterwards? When do you think would be the best time to kind of raise morale? And I'll say really quick as a DM, you're looking around and post the Kraken fight, the visitors are a lot less tense because they know you took down a Kraken, and you're also near the end of this thing from what they understand. So it's really up to you though. You know this better than everyone.
Benny thinks Benny's like thinking out loud. He's like, we could have the party once we come back and we save everyone, but I might die. So we should have the party before that. That way I can party. And then if I die, I already partied. And then when we come back, we'll just have another party, man. Before.
That tracks for me as well. So we'll set it up for right before you guys have to go. I feel like that'll probably be in like a day or two. I'll just start getting everyone kind of prepared. Yeah. But I wanted to ask as well, Benny, have you ever thought about leaving? Because I mean,
every day of my life, you know, it's like,
really?
It's so crazy that you asked me this, because like last night I had a dream I was a bird, and like I was just like, I felt so like free, like, you know, I was like flying and stuff. But then I was like so contained to just like the island, and it was like, what does that mean, you know? And then like you're like asking me this, and like also yesterday I turned into a bird too, so like I felt like that kind of like seeped into the dream. And also like
Yeah.
Marius was there too, which is kind of crazy. But like, it was, it's just crazy that you also mentioned this.
Yeah.
I've been thinking about it.
I mean, changing into a bird is definitely a shift in perspective. I can't say I've ever done it myself, but it sounds wild.
I mean, she can do it. I mean, she turned me into a bird.
Maybe at the party, I will ask. I'm a little scared of her because she seems pretty strong, which you all seem pretty strong. But
she is just that was a weird metaphor I was gonna say. I was gonna say
I won't tell anyone.
I was gonna say she melted butter on bread. I don't know what the fuck that means, but like, yeah,
She's good or bad?
Yeah,
it's
good.
she has a way of I'll take that as she has a way of seeping into you and
There
really
you go.
affecting you on a core level.
There you go.
that's it.
I think Calanthe overhears like the amount of like she and her and just
Yeah.
like banks it and thinks that they're like just makes an educated guess that she's being talked about and looks over and looks him Derringer in the eye and a little lightning crackles as she gives him a smirk.
His fur fully goes up on end. Like his eyes go wide and his fur and his mane kind of stands up and he's like, oh, okay. Yeah, so, no, I just wanted to ask you that because, like, clearly everyone on this island respects you and would do anything for you at the drop of a hat. And, I think they did. For me, at least. I was just saying that I was coming as an envoy of Bene Anjaro and they rolled out the red carpet.
Yeah.
So I just think that, like, that kind of influence is special. That's kind of the influence that, honestly, only really, like, preachers or politicians have. So I don't know. I think that you're clearly a good guy. And I mean, if you ever want to take a little vacation just for a small period or even longer, I'd love to have you in my town. It's just a little farming town, but see the sights, and if you want to travel a little bit farther.
Oh, you said farms? Think about
It's
it.
just outside of Ushan. It's not too far. It's not too farm, you know? There's still a little bit of an urban flair to it.
Bene is like, but Bene hears like farm, and he's just like, oh no, people will make me do work. No.
Wait, I want to roll and see if he clocks that in you. He got a 3. Look, I just mean more than anything. I see your kind of hesitancy, I think, but you clearly
Cool.
you have an effect on people. I can say after knowing you for 2 days, 3 days, I think you're a very unique person, and I think that you're all unique people, but you have a certain je ne sais quoi, a bene sais quoi, if you will, that should be shared with the world, but that's not for me to say. I'm just the party guy for now, so.
You know what? How about this? You bring up a great point. Maybe let's not think about me for this party, and we'll think about the town. And you know what? Let's do it once we come back. We'll save everyone. Everyone will be like super hyped that we saved the town and the people. So like, then we'll have the party.
You got a deal. And he shakes your hand.
I think as well, there's something to be said about us being stuck on this island that definitely makes us want to get off of it.
Yes, I think that certainly as someone from the outside world, I'm sure you're raring to get back home, Marius.
It's all been quite a blur to begin with, but it would be nice.
All right, well, I'll keep going about my my duties as party master in chief. If you guys need me for anything else, hit me up.
Bene just like does like a this. He's just like, and
sorry, go ahead. Sorry.
No, he just says like peace, man.
When you do this, Derringer pretends that he's been shot and kind of like falls back a little bit, and then stumbles, catches himself, and waves at you and walks away.
What a ham!
What a ham! Just a big old lion-shaped ham. So, resolving this stuff with Qell and Calanthe. I'm gonna say yada yada that I think you probably hit up Sheena as well to come with you guys.
Okay.
Because I mean she offered her help, so you could go to the fort with her and bring her. Is that cool
sure.
with you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Completely forgot.
Mhm.
I'm such a great friend. Completely forgot about Carlson. Calanthe did not. So just quick flashback. Calanthe basically just finds him later and is like, I'm so proud of you. And they have like a little moment.
I think that he sees you guys going off into that cave to see Gordios, and he's just kind of like, he heads back with the Golden Hour crew, and they all just kind of have a drink.
Yeah.
And you probably catch up with him at the bar, and he's pretty deep in his cups, just stoked that he helped kill a Kraken.
Yeah. So they do have a moment. But I think, what are we doing? Are we just gonna go back home?
But yeah, you guys can do whatever you want. You have, I think Quincy was implying that you should leave at some point before nightfall, but like whenever.
Can we set traps, maybe?
You could set traps, definitely.
Do like a little flyover and see what's going on.
Yeah.
We did want to do a little bit of recon.
Yeah.
I remember we mentioned something about that.
Seems
definitely.
Wise.
I guess maybe then we're all just like walking there.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. So we'll cut forward to you guys.
Well, I was gonna say as they're walking there, kind of they sort of pulls Qell back.
For sure. Yeah.
Oh.
I would like to apologize for last night. I am terrified, and I was less terrified for the past couple of days, but now I'm back to the level of terrified that I was when this started, and it got the better of me, and I am sorry.
Thank you. I accept. Is that what you say up here? Yes. Though I admit I did not expect as such. I mean, we have all, I will not say lost, but we all have someone in our lives at risk now, and in a way we all have, everyone here at risk now. Pain rarely manifests the same way between two different people. But I am not happy, but if we are to be in pain, I am happy to do it together.
I am certainly grateful for all three of you, but you in particular have kept me sane.
He's like, you see him like going back through all of his memories in this moment, like, evidence does not support that.
Does Calanthe touch the back of his neck when she says that too? Oh shit.
That's what I did.
But okay, that changes things, because then there's like he starts doing that, then short circuits, and it's like, I understand.
Keep walking.
Does something seem okay? Question.
Hit me.
The Ashakmar are all connected via Gordios. We all feel it.
Yes.
Can I feel that now?
I think specifically because you are who you are, you can feel that. I don't know if the other Ashakmar would be aware that Calanthe has been brought into the fold in that way.
Can I say though that Calanthe asked Gordios to not tell Qell if Qell directly ask Guardios though? Because she's like, no, I want it to be a surprise.
Yeah, I think that should be fun. Roll me just for fun a deception check.
Me?
Yeah.
If you don't
What?
want me to pick up on it.
Yeah. I think
Because
roll,
as soon
roll
as
an
you
opposed
hit that
check.
intimacy spot, I was feeling like, oh, he probably could sense it in that moment when like the pathway is opened up there.
Cock.
What am I trying to roll?
You're rolling insight
Okay. Not
or
great.
Arcana.
I rolled really good for me, but my modifier is bad.
Oh no.
Arcana is
Let's
it's the
say
same.
insight.
It's
Okay.
It's the same, doesn't matter. No, that's a 5.
Oh,
I got
no.
an 18.
Okay, yeah.
I
so-
can't tell, I guess.
I'm a fucking pirate. My whole life is deception and persuasion. And
Why don't you want
I
me
think
to know?
I think that Qell also when she touches that point on the neck, it just short circuit. Like even your connection with Guardios is like
Yeah.
It's very intimate. That's what that noise meant.
Yeah. I mean, it's not a sex thing. I want to make
No,
that clear.
no, absolutely. But it's when-
yeah.
I'm
I
more
swear, it's not.
It's not sexy.
It's not. Shut
No,
up.
but when someone like touches your cheek or something and you're not expecting it, and it just feels like whoa.
Yeah.
So that kind of thing.
She just did something deeply cultural that has meaning. That is
Absolutely.
like we are. Yeah. And
Yes, that-
so
that-
I am gonna amend that he doesn't pick up on it. I think he is searching because I think what he's learning right now is that it's the connection between people and the connection between him to other people that is doing this, that's accomplishing his goal. But he's only in the beginning stages of figuring that out. I think he's just really starting to see that. So in that moment, he's looking for something while you're there, and he doesn't quite find it. But when he says, I understand, he says, I understand, Marsabe.
Huh?
What does that mean?
Oh, sorry, it's not an insult. It's a word of my people. It means mar entwined. Those whose hearts are connected by the sea.
That's good. That's good. Because if it was an insult, I would have punched you in the face. Straight out.
I understand.
Perfect. I love that. So do you guys just keep walking?
Yep.
Yeah.
Perfect. So I think it kind of maybe goes like Quincy in the front, then maybe the Ashakmar, and then maybe you guys. And I think you're walking through the swamp district, the swampable territory, and I think you guys all reflect back on the first time that you guys all met, and you walked this same path and fought those weird little fish guys, Kuatoa.
Kuatoa, that's right.
The first time that you guys all came together as a team.
I love
and
that.
Now we're back
And
here
you-
for the Frogatoa.
now you're back here for the Frogatoa, and you look down at your hands, and I think you guys all notice the curse marks for the first time in a while, and kind of reflect on the fact that instead of causing you pain, which it has, these marks have more tied you guys together and made you a team in just the past few days. And as you guys disappear into the swamp, that's where we will take our break. So get ready, because when we come back next week for you guys, imminently for us, there's gonna be a little tussle in the swamp. But for now, beware of what lurks below the shoreline. Bye. Ow, wah.
Keeping that in.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay.